Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo De Rosario.
We give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Mike Inside in tonight's Game Time. We'll break down who are the must-watch PBA imports in the upcoming 2021 Reinforced Conference. Find out if your pick made the list.
Patuloy ang paramdam ng lakas ng tatlo. Jeremiah Gray and Gino Jumao-As and Christian Rivera join us to share their excitement for the inaugural season of the PBA 3x3. And let's get to know the new recruits of the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers, Irisi Tolenada, Jessma, Ramos, and Cailing. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. As the PBA awaits the go signal for a final schedule in the upcoming 2021 Reinforced Conference, a collection of big names and former champions are set to return to action. From superstar vets and high-profile newcomers, we've come up with a list of must-watch imports. This conference with the help of PBA Rush anchor Carlo Pamintuan. Carlo, good evening. I don't understand why you're not here. Why are we fighting? I don't know what's happening, bro.
I don't have a recent antigen test, that's why
Okay, yeah, no, you're being safe. Okay, stay there, stay where you are. So you have a list here and I will help us go through it all.
You know what, Carlo? You talked about Justin Brownlee being versatile and a born winner. What can you say about him?
Well, Justin Brownlee's proven. I mean, if you are getting an import for the next conference and you're Barangay Ginebra, if it's not Justin Brownlee, then who else could it be? Coach Richard De Rosario already said that if it was up to him, he would pick him up from the airport himself. And that is just the value of Justin Brownlee. You know, we were not lucky enough to live in the time of the great imports of the PBA yesteryears. But in terms of this era, Justin Brownlee is the best that we could see. And it's really good to have him back in the PBA. Really excited to see him. Just wanted to clarify, this is my list, okay? I mean, I'm sure everyone will have their own list of which imports they find exciting. But for my list, I think these are the 5 that I would be very interested to watch when we get the season going again.
All right, hey, Carlo, your mic's a bit airy right now. I think it's bouncing off against your shirt. But yeah, you know, your point about Justin Brownlee is well taken. And of course, he is the resident import Barangay Ginebra. And the reason why they bring him back over and over is because he is a 4-time PBA champion already and eager to look for the next one. So your next one here, who does he have?
Second off your list is Henry Walker, and he was an ex-NBA player with 5 seasons in the league. Anong masasabi mo sa kanya, Carlo?
So Henry Walker is proven. You don't make it to the NBA, you don't stay in the NBA if you are not a good basketball player. Another thing that I like about Henry Walker is that he knows how to play in the PBA. He has extensive experience playing in the league. It will be, you know, his 4th team. He played for Blackwater, played for Alaska, played for the Road Warriors. So he will be playing for the Rain or Shine Lasto Painters next. So he has what it takes to play in the PBA, and he knows how to bring his team to the next level. You remember those Blackwater teams and how, you know, in terms of talent, we're not really up there in terms of the best in the PBA, but they were able to make things work. They were able to upset a couple of really good teams because of the leadership, because of the help that they got coming from Henry Walker. He's an outstanding playmaker. He is an unselfish player. He just knows how to play basketball. He knows how to win, and he is exactly what Rain or Shine needs. Because if you look at Rain or Shine, hindi nila kailangan talaga ng magdo-dominate ng laro. That's not what they do as a team. They are, you know, just as strong as their totals. And that is what Henry Walker brings to the table. He will make everyone better for Rain or Shine.
Yeah, you know, the hunger is there for sure. A lot of tourists here, and of course, a bit of silverware, a bit of trophies would make everything, the whole experience here in the Philippines a lot better. Now, moving on, you have a more veteran import here, doesn't he, Ai?
Yeah. And you talk about Mike Harris, and you're saying na he's hungry for another shot. Ano masasabi mong edge niya at 38 years old, Carlo?
Well, the last import that Magnolia had some success with was Romeo Travis. And it just so happened that Romeo Travis went up against Mike Harris in the finals when the Magnolia franchise went up against Alaska for the Governor's Cup finals. Mike Harris might be 38, but what we saw from him, even if he was older than a lot of the other imports, was that he is in great physical conditioning. Hindi niya pinapabayaan yung sarili niya. No? He was raring actually to go back and try to finish business with the Alaska Aces, but it came in a time where they also transitioned, coming from Coach Alex Compton to Coach Jeffrey Carriazo, so that kind of fell apart. But he gets another chance here with a team that he is very familiar with because he battled them in the finals. You have Paul Lee, the best player of that conference. You have Finals MVP Mark Barroca for Magnolia when they defeated Alaska. So he will be, familiar with some of the players that he will meet with the Magnolia Hotshots. He is a well-traveled veteran. He has played all over the world, and he is a pro's pro. That is what Magnolia is getting from Mike Harris.
Of course, that is ex-Utah Jazz player Mike Harris. But yes, you're right. You're right. Let's see what's gonna happen with him, especially with Magnolia eager to not just make it to the final strip again and hopefully come away with a trophy. Now up next, couple big names here. We'll start off with KJ McDaniels for the NLEX Road Warriors. Again, very familiar face to Filipino hoop fans. What will make him different this time around suiting up for NLEX?
I thought for sure he would go back to TNT because they had a great run with him, but of course TNT deciding to go with Mackenzie Moore instead. KJ McDaniels, when he played in the PBA, led the league in blocks. So when you have a talent of his caliber, a former NBA player, a talented scorer, had a 50-point game in the PBA. If you have someone like him playing that kind of effort on defense, then you have someone you can rely on to win you games. KJ McDaniels brings that. He brings the pedigree, he brings the scoring ability, the playmaking, and the energy on both ends to make any team that he will join effective in the PBA. And it just so happened that he goes with the NLEX Road Warriors. Of course, we're still unsure what the state of Kiefer Ravena would be for the upcoming conference for the Road Warriors, so they would need a lot of scoring help as well. We all know that it was a bit of a problem for the Road Warriors in terms of scoring because, when you have Kevin Alas and Jericho Cruz being defended well by the opposing team, then their offense kind of slows down, and KJ McDaniels can fill in the void, can fill the gaps of their offense, and also correct a lot of the errors on defense because of his athleticism and his intelligence.
All right, Ai, last but not least.
You know what, Carlo? Let's talk about Shabazz Muhammad filling in the shoes for Alan Durham for Meralco.
You know what? Meralco is known as a team that really gets good imports. I mean, they are always almost guaranteed of an outstanding import, even in the Commissioner's Cup when they have players such as Arinze Onuaku and Alex Stevenson. Of course, Alan Durham has been their go-to guy in the Governor's Cup. In Shabazz Muhammad, you have someone who has proven pedigree. He has played in the NBA, had an entire season where he scored double digits for the Minnesota Timberwolves. So you know that he can score at the prime time capacity. He is in his physical prime. If you talk about the 30-year-old Mike Harris, he is a decade younger. 28 years old in the prime of his career, and eager to really reintroduce himself to the Filipino basketball fans. You know that he is coming in hot because there will be a lot of expectations. He was a big name coming into the NBA. He was a 14th pick overall. Of course, things did not necessarily pan out the way that he wanted. He would have wanted it to with his NBA career, but he will try to find success elsewhere. And as we know, Meralco is truly building something with that franchise. Usually, they struggle in the Philippine Cup, but back-to-back stints in the semifinals of the two Philippine Cups that we've just had, and now they add a talent like Shabazz Muhammad, and it should just be outstanding for them moving forward.
It should be great to find out what Shabazz can bring to the table, and of course the rest of the imports that we have here. Carlo, thank you very much for joining us again. It's always a pleasure, and I'm sure we'll hear from you very soon.
Thank you, Paolo. Thank you, Ai.
All right, so after the break, patuloy ang paramdam ng lakas ng tatlo. Jeremiah Gray, Gino Jumao-As, and Christian Rivera join us to share their excitement for the inaugural season, the PBA 3x3. Stay tuned. You're watching the game.
Buckle up for another unfiltered conversation with a PBA legend. I'm Miko Halili and welcome to Hot Seat. He captured the imagination of fans with his extraordinary speed and flair for the game. But more importantly, he was able to prove to his supporters that he too was a winner. There's a certain bittersweet aspect when we reminisce about your UE days. When you talk about that, your star-studded team, hindi kayo nanalo ng championship. His popularity rose in an instant, but the reality was Paul Artadi had to overcome a lot to achieve meaningful success. The reason why kinuha kayong dalawa ni James was kayo yung future of the franchise and new blood was coming in. Might be surprising, medyo nahirapan ka pala during your Pure Foods years.
Yes, sir! Tune in to PBA Rush this coming Monday at 9 p.m. as the Kid Lighting Paul Artadi takes on the hot seat with the one and the only Miko Halili. In the meantime, we are 8 days away from the inaugural season of the PBA 3x3 as our excitement grows for the tournament. Tonight, we are joined by three more players who will see action on the court. We have Jeremiah Gray from the TNT Tropang Giga, Gino Jumao-As of the Zamboanga Valientes, and Christian Rivera from the Pioneer Pro Tibay. Gentlemen, welcome to the game.
Thanks for having us.
All right, Maya, I'm going to start off with you first because you're now part of a squad that just won a championship in the most recent conference, and now they're hoping that you could help continue that winning tradition that they've started to build in the 3x3. And once you have a bit of that, I guess, the type of inspiration, the type of pressure, what goes through your mind going into this 3x3?
What goes through my mind is just really go out there, have fun, play my hardest, and of course try to win and continue that championship culture that TNT's building again.
And punta tayo kay Gino. Gino, galing kang Zamboanga, si Christian galing South Cotabato. Kumusta yung pag-achieve ng dream dito sa Maynila na nagmula sa probinsya?
Hi, buenas noches. Masaya kasi PBA dream, tapos makapaglaro ako, so yun lang. Focus lang kami, expect namin na all out kami sa league na to.
Yes.
Alam mo, Gino, pasensya na kasi that's all the Chabacano we know eh. So hopefully we will learn a bit more throughout the time. Pero Christian, ikaw naman, syempre when you look at the type of players that we have here in 3x3, you're gonna have people from different types of backgrounds.
Yes.
People who come from abroad, people who are homegrown, and basically from all walks of life here. How do you envision the type of basketball we're going to see in 3x3?
We all know 3x3 is a 10-minute sprint, so every player that steps on the floor is going to give everything he's got on both ends of the floor. So I'm very excited. It's going to be a very exciting league, and it's an honor to be a part of the first ever PBA 3x3.
And Maya, everyone's excited to see you play and people know you as a high flyer. So how will you translate this into 3x3?
What was that? Sorry, I couldn't really.
Maya, you are also known as a high flyer. So how can you translate that into your 3x3 games?
I mean, if there's any open lanes, I know I'm for sure try to take off, but I really feel like dunking may not be the best thing to do because it's such a fast-paced game. So I really think just getting the ball on the rim and focusing on playing defense again would be the best option for us.
No, I absolutely see that, Maya, especially because we all know in the open floor you're really dangerous. Is it any adjustment to you personally, knowing that it's just such a quick turnaround from offense to defense and having to be switched on the entire time?
Yeah, definitely a big adjustment. I was playing some 3-on-3 when I was back in the States, so it's definitely a big adjustment. I realized that, all the high-flying, fancy dunks that I would usually, try to do won't really work in this league, and mostly just keep it simple, make it efficient, and save energy too, because that takes up a lot of energy. Mm-hmm. It's a 10-minute sprint, like Christian said, and you got to save your stamina for defense, in my opinion. So I feel like it's a big adjustment for sure.
And Gino naman, kilala kang hustle player na nagpo-focus sa disiplina. So, kamusta yung training mo? Nakakapagod ba yung 3x3?
Yes, nakakapagod sobra. Siguro yung yung training namin as a team, sobrang go hard kami kasi alam namin na physical yung game. Tsaka naglalaro kami para city namin. Kaya dapat prepared kami dito sa league na to.
Yes.
Absolutely. Christian, you know what? You pride yourself on defense. I know that. And when you look at the type of game that's expected to be played here, we all know that the basketball here is as physical as it could get and could even ramp up another level on the 3x3 level. How do you feel defending will be like once the competition starts?
You just gotta make sure you're well prepared. We all know in the Philippines it's a very physical game, regardless what type of basketball it is. So I'm just giving a lot of credit to my coach, Coach Lester Del Rosario, for making sure that we're well prepared for our first game.
Well, you know, a long break for most of you guys, at least in competitive basketball, and you guys are gonna get some shine finally in 3x3. Maya, how excited are you for the chance to finally show off what you can do here to a wider audience locally?
I'm really excited. I'm finally playing in the main league in the Philippines. It's been a year and a half, I think. Yeah, a year and a half, almost 2 years since I've played in a competitive game overseas. So I'm really excited to get out here and show what I can do and improve myself.
You know, I'm sure Gino and Christian feel the same way. I wish we had more time to ask you more about that, but that's all we have for now. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you know what, Pao? It's amazing to talk to key players for 3x3.
Yep.
Pero we also have F2 newbies later
Of course.
on. When we return, let's get to know the new recruits of the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers, Iris Tolenada, Jessma Ramos, and Cailing. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. Welcome back to The Game. I'm Ayit Nisay. The F2 Logistics Cargo Movers are definitely back to ready to showcase what they got. And that includes new recruits Iris Tolenada, Jessma Ramos, and Cailing. Let's get to know them as they join our very own Billy Capistrano in this edition of Inside the Game.
Joining us tonight on Inside the Game are the new cargo movers of Team F2, middle blocker Jessma Ramos, and setters Cailing and Iris Tolenada. Ladies, welcome to the game.
Thank you.
Hello. So I'm sure you've heard this many times before, but officially welcome to the F2 family. How does it feel to be part of a club team with such a rich volleyball history? Iris, let's start with you.
It feels amazing, actually. Honestly, I never knew that I would be part of F2, but here we are. It's been great so far, and you know, everyone's welcomed me with open arms, and once I stepped in the gym, I just felt like it was a good place for me to be, and I knew that I'm supposed to be here. So it's a good feeling.
Yeah, well, welcome home for you then.
Thank you.
How about you, Rem? Ano naman yung feeling na part ka na finally na F2?
Overwhelming po, pero masaya kami kasi hindi ko din in-expect na mag-F2 gano'n. Kasi parang last year, hindi ko naman sa after U-up wala naman talagang plan na magpro gano'n. So, okay naman, happy naman po ako dito sa F2.
And we're so happy for you as well. And syempre kasama mo si Jessma, kaya Jessma, ikaw naman, ano yung feeling that you're part of this team?
At first po, well, knowing Lasal na sila yung, most of the members of the team are from Lasal. And so parang some of them na played ko na against. So parang at first intimidating. Kasi parang before, alam mo yung pag nakita mo sila, parang nakakatakot sila kasi they're Lasal, gano'n. Pero masaya naman sila. Like, parang hindi mo talaga makikilala yung person kapag hindi mo pa siya na-meet. Like, gano'n. Masaya sila and super friendly nilang kasama.
Yes, I would know that. Napakakulit and friendly talaga ng mga Lasalista. I can vouch for them. Now, Iris, being a veteran and a member of the national team pool, how different is the experience playing for Coach Ramil in F2?
I've actually been really interested on what it would be like to train with Coach Ramil because a lot of my previous national team teammates have trained under him and even on some of the other clubs I played on, and I've only heard good things. I've heard, he makes you work hard, but it's all for good cause. And stepping into this program and seeing his coaching style and getting to work with all the coaches, I understand why the programs they coach are so successful. So it's been really cool and something different that I've gotten here in the Philippines, being coached by Coach Ramil and Coach Bach and all the other coaches, is that they're helping me with technique again, which I haven't really dug into. Being a professional volleyball player, you're usually supposed to be at the top of your game, blah, blah, blah. But I'm really appreciating having to focus on technique again because I'm a very technical coach myself. And as a player, I really appreciate getting technical instructions and focusing on that.
Nung una po, parang feeling ko na parang marami na akong alam, gano'n. Pero nung dumating na ako kay Coach Ramil, sabi ko, ang dami ko pa pala dapat i-improve. As in, tapos, parang, minsan, parang na-amaze ako kasi mga sinasabi ni Coach Ramil, kasi tinuturuan din niya ako sa mga bagong technique, gano'n. Paano ako mag-set or paano ako mabilis, bilisan ko daw, gano'n. So, nung dati, di ko pa iniisip na may mali pa pala ako na kailangan pang i-improve talaga.
It's such a great opportunity for all three of you to learn under one of the very best in the country. Was it ever awkward at first? Because you did say that you were intimidated. Pero ngayon, ano na yung feeling mo towards your teammates?
Yeah, at first, lalo na si Ate Kiana.
Wow!
Siya yung laging nagsasabing, may initiation. Pero they're good people naman and they're nice. Parang, yun nga, never mo talaga makikilala yung isang person unless makasama mo sila. And yun lang. And they're nice people po.
Friendly.
Yan. Super, super duper nice people. Alam naman natin yung lahat. Iris, you are a veteran, right? You're a little bit, I wouldn't say older, more experienced.
It's all right, girl. You can call me old. I'm a tita, I know it.
It's okay. We're the same. I feel like we're the same age, so it's fine. But I feel like you're more experienced than, of course, Rem and Jessma. Now, playing alongside the other veterans, have you learned anything from them?
I just learned that it's just a good place to compete, and the reason they are the way they are and how competitive they are is because they grew up in a great program, and it makes me excited to get better in this gym and to also have fun with them. Like it's just a safe place to be myself and to get better while failing. So it's a good environment to continue growing my game.
It's so exciting to watch you guys grow in this new team. And, I see all the social media posts. I was telling the others a while ago that you guys look like you're having so much fun. I mean it. Like you guys are one big family. That's great to see. Now, lastly, you guys know that F2 has such a massive and supportive fan base. So what can they expect from you as you suit up for the Cargo Movers? Because I'm sure 100% they are so excited to see you guys play. Iris, let's start with you.
F2 Cargo Movers fans, we are so excited to be part of this family, and we want to thank you for all of the love and support you've given us so far, and we're really excited to play for you guys again.
So how about you, Jessma? What's your message to the fans who are waiting for your F2 debut?
Hi F2 fans. Thank you for welcoming us sa team nyo na sinusuportan, and we are also excited to play with amazing players and staff and the management. Thank you.
How about you, Rem? Last but not the least, what is your message to the F2 fans?
Thank you for supporting us and thank you din na na-feel namin yung pag-welcome niyo sa amin. And sana tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung pag-support sa amin.
Thank you so much, you guys. It was so nice talking to you and getting to know you guys. Thank you, Jessma, Rem, and Iris.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. And good luck in your games, by the way. And of course, thank you. Yeah, thank you for joining us. I'm Billy Capistrano for The Game.
Nakaka-excite makakita ng Maroons. That was Billy Capistrano with F2 Logistics, Iris Tolenada, Jessma, Ramos, and Rem Cailing. I'm Aitin Sai. Thank you for joining us.
Guys, this weeknights here on One News, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. I'm reminding everyone, hindi kami nakakatakot yung mga Lasaliano. I'm Paolo Del Rosario, and this has been The Game.